That's Nick.
And that's Joseph.
Ooh.
What?
And we received several many comments from people wanting your reaction to the nominations for the 95th Academy Awards. The Oscars.
They're trying to set me up. Yeah.
Yeah, I think people want to hear you get flustered. So that'll probably happen. But I thought I would just go through 10 categories and
Sure.
then,
I was going to say, let's please not do them all.
yeah, no. So, yeah, I can just go. Let's see how this goes. Okay, so actor in a supporting role, Brendan Gleeson for the Banshees of Inisherin, Brian Tyree Henry for Causeway, Judd Hirsch for The Fablemans, Barry Keoghan for the Banshees of Inisherin, and Ki Hui Kwan for Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Mhm.
Who is Judd Hirsch in The Fablemans?
He's the uncle that comes to visit.
Oh, I did like him in that actually.
To
Okay,
be,
so I have seen all of these, but first of all, who do you think will win?
oh God, I don't know. Maybe Kihi Kwan.
And
Uh,
who would you like to win?
it'd be nice to see Brian Tyree Henry win for Causeway because that's kind of a surprise that based on the Black people that did get nominated or didn't. It's a nice surprise to see him there. So that would, yeah, I think he
I
would,
did I did think he did a very good job in that role.
and it is deserving. And of the Fablemans, the only thing that could have or should have been nominated really is the Judd Hirsch performance, in my opinion. So I can't. We'll save what we think about that till later.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, actress in a leading role, Kate Blanchett for Tar, Anna de Armas for Blonde, Andrea Riseborough for To Leslie, Michelle Williams for The Fablemans, and Michelle Yao for Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen To Leslie. I was surprised to see Anna de Armas, even though I think she did put a lot of work into that role.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think will win?
Well, let's talk about this category for a second, shall we?
Oh,
Uh, First of all, there was no way Kate Blanchett was not going to get nominated for Tar. So, and that is a performance, and I'm very, and I'd be fine with her winning actually a third because she's incredible in it. And Michelle Yao, I think that was expected that she should be there. But okay, it's a mixed bag because I'm actually very happy to see Ana de Armas there because of course the Razzies came out a day or two before the Oscar nominations and of course had 8 or 9 Razzie nominations and just the vitriol against that film has been superficial and hypocritical and it makes me highly irritated based on people's reactions to what I think is a very daring film and I think her performance is worthy of an Oscar nomination. To Leslie, that I have not seen that. Uh,
oh,
I like Andrea Riseborough. This came up during all the voting sessions for all the other things I had to vote for, and I just didn't make time for it. But I did receive several emails. I'm aware that a bunch of very notable celebrities were lending that performance support, which is probably why it got the attention that it did receive from the Academy. I cannot forgive Michelle Williams, who's little white Michelle Williams, who's an actor I quite like, does not deserve to be in this list of 5 people. And I think I don't know. It's very upsetting to me that they nominate her over Danielle Deadwyler for Till. It's just like when Ava DuVernay's Selma got locked out across the board, except for Best Picture in 2014, and everybody said that year was like, well, the screeners went out later. The Academy didn't have enough time to visit that film. Y'all had more than enough time to watch Till. There's no way that her performance on the stand is better than what Michelle Williams is doing as this kind of caricature depressed housewife in The Fablemans. It just it again, it's not that I need a reason not to watch the Oscars, but it just really makes me not want to watch the Oscars, and it reminds me of how much we shouldn't care about the Oscars.
so who do you think will win?
I think Kate Blanchett will win.
Who would you
And
like to win?
I would like her to win. I've seen that performance twice. I will watch it many more times throughout my life. I'm sure it's you know, and of course I'm a forever a Sigourney Weaver stan, so there was no buzz for three great performances she gave this year that elevated each of the three films she was in. But of course, we don't talk about women of a certain age either in this industry. So there we go.
All right. Well, moving on to actress in a supporting role, we have Angela Bassett for Black Panther Wakanda Forever, Hong Chow for The Whale, Carrie Condon for The Banshees of Inisherin, Jamie Lee Curtis for Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Stephanie Sue for Everything Everywhere All at Once. What do you think about this?
The Everything Everywhere All at Once ladies will probably cancel each other out. I'm very happy to see Jamie Lee Curtis finally receive an Oscar nomination because, you know, both her parents were. You know, the Academy, much like they don't really seem to care about Black people, they also don't like comedy. And Jamie Lee Curtis is an exquisite comedian. You know, she should have been nominated for something like True Lies, for instance, back in '94. For which she won a Golden Globe for. So it's this mixed bag of like, I'm glad to see someone like that being honored, and it's a very fun winning performance from her. But the real win, I think, is Angela Bassett being nominated for something like a Marvel film, which also should be a signal to the people that write those films that this is what you can do if you actually take some care in the script department. But I'd like Angela to win because an actor of her caliber should already have an Oscar. And she did win the Golden Globe. So I think she's the front runner. I would be kind of surprised if she doesn't win. Hong Chow, I did really like in The Whale. I think that's well deserved. Who am I leaving out?
I think you covered it all.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, actor in a supporting role. Or did I already do that?
Yeah.
I did? Okay, I'm confused. We can move on to animated feature film.
You didn't do Best Actor.
I didn't do Best Actor?
Mm-mm.
I sure didn't. See, I'm confused. I'm still sick, actually. Okay, actor in a leading role. There's Austin Butler for Elvis, Colin Farrell for The Banshees of Inisherin, Brendan Fraser for The Whale, Paul Mescal for After Sun, and Bill Nighy for Living. What do you think about this?
It's nice to see Paul Mescal and Bill Nighy represented there because those were smaller films with excellent performances from the leads. So I'm not surprised and pleased to see them there though. Colin Farrell, you know, he won Best Actor at Venice. Again, I do really like that movie. I think it's very dark and right up my alley as far as dealing with the human condition goes. But I don't know that I felt that there was such a great stretch for Colin, even though he is very good in it. And I would have preferred to see maybe something a little more daring in that slot. Brendan Fraser, of course, in The Whale, I'm not surprised at all to see him there. Again, much like Hong Chow in that film are standouts and some things that were done that I think feel a bit subpar in a film that could have been a lot better. And then who is the other one that I want to complain about?
Austin Butler.
Oh, Austin Butler. Yes, he's excellent as Elvis, again, in a super whitewashed, endless montage of a film from Baz Luhrmann that I still don't understand how people are so happy about that. But yes, if there's, again, much like Judd Hirsch in The Fabelmans, that he's the standout in this film that is highly compromised.
Who?
The Austin in Elvis.
So who do you think will win?
Who do I think will win? It'll be either him or Brendan Fraser.
Who would you like to win?
I think it would be nicer for Brendan to win. Austin's young; he can wait.
Okay, we can move on to animated feature film. There's Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, The Sea Beast, and Turning Red. Have you seen all of those?
I've seen all but Turning Red.
Oh,
which I will catch up with eventually. Of those that I did see, however, you know, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio is a beautiful looking film. I was a little bit bored with it, but I've also seen too many Pinocchio adaptations in quick succession, I think, which didn't help that. Marcel the Shell, my vote goes to, but I did like Puss in Boots. Do I think that deserves an Oscar nomination or an Oscar? I don't know. But
who do you think will win?
I think Marcel, well, No, I think Pinocchio will win. I would like Marcel to win.
Got it. Okay, for cinematography, we have All Quiet on the Western Front, Bardot, False Chronicle of a Handful of Truths, Elvis, Empire of Light, and Tar. I was surprised to see Empire of Light. I did like that movie because of Olivia Colman, and I did think it looked beautiful, especially the shots when they're in the upper part of the theater. But
Mhm.
when I saw this as like best cinematography, I was a little surprised.
Over something like Everything Everywhere All at Once. But
Or even Elvis. I mean, is a like a visual spectacle, and Tar. I mean, I can clearly recall images from Tar, like, but I think that might also. Uh, I didn't look if like production design got a nod for Tar, but they deserve one too.
I am not sure either. I actually barely looked at this. After I saw the best actress in the leading role category, I kind of automatically didn't care about anything anymore. But yeah, I think
Usually, yeah.
Tar is deserving, but I'm already forgetting what else we just talked about.
Elvis, Empire of Light, Bardot, and All Quiet on the Western
Oh yeah.
Front. Who do you
Oh yeah.
think will win?
Who do I think will win? I think Elvis will probably win. I think All Quiet has quite a good shot as well. As I finally just watched that last week, and it is a really impressive looking war film for sure.
Who would you like to win?
Probably All Quiet. I don't really feel like I need Elvis to win anything.
Let's move on to directing. There's Martin McDonagh for The Banshees of Inisherin, the Daniels for Everything Everywhere All at Once, Spielberg for The Fablemans, Todd Field for Tar, and Ruben Östlund for Triangle of Sadness.
Yeah, I mean, I like everything except for Spielberg getting like a ninth nomination for directing for that film. Again, if you think The Fablemans deserves Best Picture or any of these awards, I don't need to go to your house for dinner ever because I know that the food will be bland and tasteless, and that'll be just that, and that is fine for you. That is fine for you if that is the case. But I just cannot believe the reverence for this film, and it's for the man. It's for Spielberg, who's a fantastic director. Mia Hansen Love or Alice Diop for Saint Omer, like, because so they gave best director to a woman 2 years in a row. There were so I find it funny that they completely locked out a lot of really great women directors there for somebody like Spielberg, who does not need this Oscar nomination. It's just,
Who do you think will win?
who do I think will win? The Daniels, but maybe that's because I want them to win.
So you would also want the Daniels to win.
Yeah.
Got it. Do you want to do documentaries?
Was that one of the 10 categories that you pre-selected?
Yeah.
Okay.
The nominees are All That Breathes, All the Beauty and the Bloodshed, Fire of Love, A House Made of Splinters, and Navalny.
I've seen all of those except for A House Made of Splinters, and hands down, All the Beauty and the Bloodshed, which was in my top 10 of the year. And I asked you to watch as well. I think that is very much deserving.
And I'm pretty sure you've seen all of the international feature film nominees. So All Quiet on the Western Front, Argentina 1985, Close, EO, and The Quiet Girl.
I have seen all of those. Quiet Girl is one of those. That's like the Andrea Riseborough thing where people were talking about in a way that if you're in a voting group, you watch that because you know that there's this internal buzz that's trying to be created about it. I think it's a very good, slight film. I always have problems with this category because all these countries are only allowed to submit one film, and I know all these voters aren't even watching all of those in the first place, and then what makes the short list. I'm very happy to see Close on there and EO. EO is on my top 10 of the year, and as was yours as well.
Don't tell all my business. No, I'm just kidding.
But it was.
That's true. It was on there.
In Argentina in 1985, I was very in the mid. I think that's also a very middle-brow presentation of a very important court case in Argentina. And I know that won the Golden Globe, so that all but secured it a slot at that point. But again, I feel like I saw, even in what we were presented with as a list of to vote from, there were several others I would have liked to see there more. But
Can you give those a shout out?
like Saint Omer.
Got it.
That should have been nominated.
Okay, the final category is Best Picture.
Hmm.
You ready?
Yeah.
All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar, The Way of Water, The Banshees of Inisherin, Elvis, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Fablemans, Tar, Top Gun Maverick, Triangle of Sadness, Women Talking.
I was pretty cool on women talking, as you know, but I'm not upset to see Sarah Polley get this kind of distinction. And I hope that it'll mean that we don't have to wait another decade for a film from her. But it's nice to see Triangle of Sadness there, everything, or All Quiet on the Western Front. Anytime like a foreign film or director gets played, that kind of distinction, I think is really nice. Things like Top Gun and Avatar, I feel like those are such big money makers that that the industry feels like they have to put those kind of things there. And I don't think that either of them really has a shot at winning. I know back in 2009, everybody thought Avatar was going to win. I don't know that anybody realistically thinks Avatar 2 is going to take Best Picture, especially since we have three more over the next decade to come out. I really think this is the year for Everything Everywhere All at Once.
So you would like them to win. What? Who do you think will win?
I think they'll win. I don't. Well, it'll if the Fablemans wins Best Picture. What a travesty! You know the BAFTAs over there in the UK. They had the good sense to leave that film out of a bunch of. I don't get it. It's
So this is the Steven Spielberg hate YouTube channel.
No, but it's just like Kenneth Branagh's Belfast, a beautiful looking film, beautiful gowns, but this is not fantastic cinema. It just isn't. I just don't. It's just so frustrating that the very industry that is choosing to reward itself can't even find its best virtues.
Well, I think that's good for now. We got your reactions. So let's see. I don't even know when the Oscars happen. Like in March?
I don't know. It's just I'm so relieved that we finally got past the nominations. I'm always relieved when the ceremony's over, so we can stop talking about the same films. Even though there's some that I really loved in here, there are plenty of other films that are to watch. There are plenty of other things to experience.
Okay. Well, that was a pleasure, and we will talk soon. Ta-ta.